Hey, what's going on, guys? Pete with Auto Repair Tips. Episode 1. We're going to talk about car reality shows and actually just how much reality is in those shows and how much of it is made up. First, let me introduce myself. I've been in automotive. I'm 54 years old, and I've been in automotive all my life. Third generation automotive. We have family business for about 76 years. Grew up with a wrench in my hand, basically, from body work to mechanic work, glass, engine, doesn't make a difference. I've done it all. Now that you know a little bit about me, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, these shows kind of crack me up. We sit here and I watch them, and I look at some of the things they do, and there's no reality in that at all. Now, I'm not going to take anything from the workmanship. These guys who work on these cars, let me say, their craftsmanship is awesome. The part I'm talking about is, when you finish that car, that you got a buyer standing there with $50,000 in his hand. And that's just not happening. That's just is not so. True story. I happen to live in the area where one of the shows are made, and one of the first trucks he ever did belonged to a friend of mine, and the truck sat at a auto repair facility for a year, and the customer had brought him this truck, and he said, "Look, I don't have much money. Take your time. Do it, on a budget." And one thing led to another. After a period of time, the customer was approached by the shop who now has a reality show on fixing cars, and the truck ends up over there. Well, the customer goes from having, on a budget, no money, to an endless pocketbook. Parts or whatever you want, go get it. I can just, I'm going to pay for it all. Well, you did not give this other shop the same opportunity. Over here you were pinching every penny, and then you go to a reality show and you got an endless pocketbook. So there's more to that story. People just don't walk into places like that and say, "Look, here's an open checkbook, fix it for whatever it cost," unless you're a wealthy person or you're a reality show that is going out and finding these customers. The average Joe does not do that to their car. They don't hand out open checkbooks. The average person does not do that. Let me tell you what else cracks me up. When these shops have customers walk into the office, and the owner of the shop on this reality show walks out to that customer, he tells him, he says, "Your car, I have to spend $10,000 on the suspension, or I'm just not going to fix it, or it's not going to happen." And that puts him $10,000 over the budget that he originally allowed. And the customer looks at him and says, "Well, okay, let's just go ahead and do it." That can't be no more BS than I've ever seen in my entire life. I've restored hundreds of cars over the years. Never have I been able to go to a customer and say, "I need $10,000 more, or I'm just not going to finish or fix your car." If I did that, the guy would laugh me out of business. You just can't do that to people. You just not heard of. That has never been so much of a setup as I've ever seen in my entire life. The only thing reality about these shows is the build, is the people working on it, and the car that they're restoring, and what it looks like when it's finished. That is the only reality about these shows. But the way they spend money on these vehicles in hopes to make money is just not how you do it in real life. It just doesn't work like that. That's just like one of these shows. He has a backer. They were building Lamborghini at one time. Spending money on it left and right, on the hopes that he's going to make money on it. And the person who, his backer, finances all this, buys the car at the end. I mean, that's just a crock of crap. I'd like to see these shows take real customers with real budgets and make it work. They won't do it because they wouldn't make any money. They would go broke. If it wasn't for the TV, if it wasn't for the networks, I should say, they wouldn't be able to do these shows. They wouldn't even stay afloat. Real business just doesn't operate like that. Leave me your comments below. Give me your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hey, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Episode 2 is going to be coming out about stupid designs on cars nowadays. Thanks again for listening. We'll talk to you soon.